Welcome all of you. We have already seen how to draw figures in isometric. We also have an introduction of how to draw a circle in isometric, and in that we have last time seen that the circle has to be first drawn inside a rhombus. So we draw one rhombus which is of the size of the square which is drawn outside the circle. Now after you draw this rhombus, I'll just repeat the procedure. We have to join the longest diagonal like this, and then the other sides which are there, the midpoint of all the four sides are taken, and those midpoints are joined to the opposite corner. So these two midpoints on the left of the diagonal are joined to the right side corner, and these two midpoints on the right side of the diagonal are joined to the left side corner. And after you draw these lines and this center line, the intersection point is the one which is the center. So like that you got two centers here and two centers here. Then with this center and with this radius we have drawn one arc. Then with this center and this much radius you have drawn the second arc. Then with this center and this much radius you have drawn the third arc. And then with this center and this much radius you have drawn the fourth arc. So in fact we have drawn four arcs. Out of that, these two smaller arcs, they are of same size, and these two larger arcs, they are also of same size. Now having understood this much, that there are four arcs which are making this complete circle, today we are going to see something slightly more than what we have learned last time. First thing what you should note is that this line which is there, this line which we have drawn, this line is perpendicular to this line. It is actual perpendicular. You remember that as far as the rhombus is concerned, we say that this rhombus is a square in isometric. If you draw a square in isometric, then it will look like a rhombus. That means the angle here or the angle here is, according to our isometric method, this angle is a 90-degree angle. But in the isometric it is not seen as 90 degrees. But for the actual figure, this angle is 90 degrees for the actual figure. Whereas now what we are talking is, the line drawn here and the line drawn here, they are forming the actual 90-degree angle here. That means this line is at actual 90 degree with the side of the rhombus. Similarly, you will notice that even this line is also perpendicular. This line is also actual perpendicular to this side of the rhombus. So similarly, we will just show the other lines. Here also there is 90 degrees and here also there is 90 degrees. So what this tells us is that, if you want to get this corner, this center point of this arc, then you can get the center point of this arc just by drawing a line like this, which is perpendicular to this line, and drawing a line like this which is perpendicular to this line. That means you know the starting point and the ending point of this arc. You know the starting point and ending point of this arc. You don't know where is the center. So for getting this center, all what you have to do is, you have to draw from the end of the line, end of the arc. This is the end of the arc going to be. So from this end of the arc, if you draw a perpendicular line to this line, and from the other end of the arc, if you draw a perpendicular line like this, then these two perpendicular lines will intersect here, and these two lines will give you the center. That means, for getting this center, although we have learned this procedure, the entire procedure which we have learned last time, and we got these four centers, you can get this center by just drawing perpendicular lines from the ends of the arcs. Now see whether it is applicable to this larger arc. For the larger arc, the arc which is going to come here, you have not yet drawn the arc. Suppose you have just drawn the rhombus and you have just marked these midpoints. Then you can say that from this midpoint to this midpoint, there is going to be the larger arc which is coming, whose center is here, but you don't know where the center. Suppose you just know the arc start and the end of the arc. Then for getting this center, the other way of doing is, just draw a perpendicular line to this side of the rhombus and another perpendicular line from this point of the rhombus, and these two perpendicular lines will give you this center. So this is another way of looking at the center instead of calling it as a square or the rhombus. Now where this is required, why do you require this? You know, sometimes what happens, the figure is such that it is not a full circle. The figure is not a full circle, the figure is maybe quarter circle or it could be half circle. Now in such case, when it is a half circle, then from where to where the circle is starting from here and it is ending here. Then how you will draw it? So in such case, you have to draw only bigger arc and the smaller arc. How you will draw that? That is where we don't have to draw full rhombus and full method, because you have to draw only half circle. So in that case, you have to only make use of this method, where you don't have to draw full circle, but you know where is the starting and the ending point of the arc. Now we will come to know this as you go further ahead in the example. So maybe I'll just try to show you here. Suppose you want to draw one part. Let's say you want to draw a plane. You want to draw this plane in isometric, where on one side of the plane there is a quarter circle. You can see there is a quarter circle that is formed, not full circle. 1/4 of a circle is there. Rest of the part is a part like a rectangle or square. Now suppose this is not there. Suppose it is full. Suppose this is not there and it is full. Can you draw this polygon or rectangle? Yes, we know how to draw this rectangle. So once you draw this rectangle, then in one corner of the rectangle there is a arc of certain radius r. There is an arc of certain radius r. That means what you have to do is, at this place you need an arc. Center is here and the radius is r. This radius is r. Now this is not a full circle. This is not a half circle. This is only quarter circle. So how you will draw it? First you will draw this square. Okay. So you can think of this square, which is this square. So you have drawn this square, or maybe these two lines which are there. Suppose you have drawn these two lines, one line like this and one line like this. And now here you are going to fit this radius of certain size r. Say like r is equal to 20. That means at this place you require to draw a radius of size 20. So now what you do? You know that since the radius is 20, that means from here to here it is 20 and from here to here is 20. So let's say this is 20 and 20. And this 20 and 20 is what you have to do here. So now there is no full circle, there is no half circle, there is only one arc. Out of these 4 arcs, only one arc is required. Now where do you draw this arc and how do you draw this arc? Now you will see that the arc which you want to draw is of this type, the larger arc. The arc which is going to come here, it is of a larger type of arc that will come here. So how do you draw this arc? So whatever procedure we have just now seen, that if you know the two ends of the arc, then say like in this case 1 and 2, if I call these points as 1 and 2, then we know that the arc will start at 1. I am talking about only this arc. Now this arc will start at 1 and it will end at 2. So we know the end points, but we don't know the center. Once you get the center, with this radius you can draw this arc. But right now we just have the end points of the arc and we want to find out the center. Same situation is here. So we know the end point of the arc, 1 is here and this is 2. So point 1 is here, point 2 is here. The distance is 20, 20. So now we are going to draw a quarter circle of size 20, but the center we don't know. This point like this is don't know here. So now we make use of this method which we have learned. That means from point 2, you draw perpendicular to this side of the rhombus. So here we draw perpendicular. Now here what you do? From point 1 also you draw a actual perpendicular to this line. So to this line you draw perpendicular like this. So where these two perpendiculars intersect, this is going to be your center, which is this kind of center. So once you get the center with this much radius, you will draw arc like this. Now this will not be 20. This will not be 20. This will be something else. But the arc which you draw is going to represent the 20 size which is given in the orthographic view. So if you want to draw this figure, then in isometric it will come like this, where this size is actual 20, this is 20, this radius is something else which you have drawn from this point, and then final result is you get a curvature which is of this type, and this is the rest of the shape of the figure, whatever it is. So we have learned to draw a polygon, and this polygon is drawn, or rather this arc is drawn, where there is just one arc is drawn. So out of the 4 arcs, we have drawn just one arc which was required. Other arcs are not drawn because they are not required. So this is the way we work as far as drawing incomplete circle is concerned. Okay, so we saw how to draw a quarter circle. So same way you can even draw semicircle also. That means, maybe say here in the same figure here, suppose there is a change, I am making some change here, and the figure given is like this. And there is an arc here. That means now there is a quarter circle, and that quarter circle is formed here. So now in this figure, the quarter circle you have to form at this place. So how that can be done? So that let us see how it is done. So now we are in this part of the rhombus. I am not drawing the full rhombus, only this corner I have drawn. Just one corner is drawn here. This corner is drawn, and in this corner you have to fit the radius of size, let us say 20. So now what arc we are going to draw, that arc is of smaller type. See, there are only 2 types of arcs. These 2 arcs are of smaller type, and these 2 arcs are of a larger type. So earlier we had drawn an arc of a larger type when the arc was here. Now we want to draw a radius here, for which the arc which you are going to draw, it is going to be of a smaller type. So what we do now here is, we measure the distance which is 20. On this side we take 20. On this side we make 20 distance. And we say that these are the, say I'll just call them as 2 and 3. So these 2 points are the point number 2 and point number 3. They are the point which are the starting and the ending point of the arc. But we don't know where is the arc because we don't know the center. So now we want to locate the center. But then we are not going to form the entire rhombus, because we don't need to form all the 4 arcs. We want only one arc of this type to form here. So only this center we require. Now how do you get the center? As per this information, the center of the arc is obtained by drawing actual perpendicular from 2 to this line, actual perpendicular from 3 to this line, and these 2 perpendiculars are going to give the center. So what we do is, I am drawing this perpendicular to this line, which is like this, and one more perpendicular to this line, actual perpendicular to this line, and that will give us the necessary center. And with this center and this much radius, you can draw the arc which is of this type of arc. And then this is the rest of the shape of the figure, this and this. Suppose this point is x, then this is the point x. I have not shown the rest of the figure because you know how to draw the rest of the figure. But the corner that is formed, the radius that is formed here in this corner, this is the way it will be drawn. So having seen this much, now what we do is, we go to the next part and see how this is used. So let me take you to the next part, and for that I'll just take this out. So this is the next figure. Again, this is the same figure, which is a figure formed for the left hand side, and maybe you can do the same thing on the left hand side also. Okay, I'll just take you further. Yes. Now see here, you want to draw this figure. There is a plane. The shape of the plane is like this, where one side is straight, this side is straight up to here, and then after that there is a radius of size r with center here. Then the rest of the line is straight. Rest of the line is straight. Again there is a radius here. So this is the overall shape of the figure. This is the overall shape of the figure where there is a curvature here and here. Now how do we do it? Can you draw, suppose this is not there, can you draw the rectangle ABCD? If it is just a rectangle, no radius, can you draw? Yes, we know how to draw it. So now here you will find that it is drawn as a rectangle to start with. So you can see here A, B, C and D. This is the rectangle which all of us know how to draw. Now having done this, now we have to fit one arc here and one arc here. And since the size of the arc is given R and R, from this corner take R, this corner take R, and locate the starting and the ending point of the small arc. In fact, I am not telling you anything new now. Whatever we discussed earlier, same thing I am repeating. So you get the ends of the two arcs, and from these ends we draw a perpendicular to this line. So to this line we draw actual perpendicular here and here. In fact, this figure is not drawn properly. Therefore, this is not seen as a 90 degree. Here it is properly seen as 90 degree. This is not seen as 90 degrees, so there is some error in the figure. But take it that it is a 90 degree line, and this also is a 90 degree line. So once you do that, you will get, in fact this line should have been starting from here, because the arc has come from here till here, not here, it is here. And then when you draw this line, it becomes a perpendicular line. So what is drawn is wrong here. So you will get the center here, and then you can draw this smaller arc. Similarly, you know the starting and the ending point of this arc. So from the start and the end point, you draw perpendicular to this line and perpendicular to this line. So here also again, there is again some error. This is the perpendicular and R is still here. So these actual perpendiculars are drawn from the ends of the arcs, and where they meet, from that point we draw this arc, which will give you the necessary radius at the corner. Okay, now let us come back and see something more. Here there is a figure of a cylinder. Now in fact this cylinder we have already drawn earlier last time. That was a vertical cylinder. Now this time a cylinder which is there, which you have to draw like this. Now how do we draw this figure? That is the question. So you can see that by making use of a rhombus. So here it is a full circle. So they have drawn a full rhombus, and then by getting the four centers by whichever way, you can draw the four arcs, and you have drawn this complete circle on one face. But since it is a cylinder of certain thickness, you require similar cylinder to be drawn, similar circle to be drawn again in this back plane. So what they have done, they have shifted the four centers. You know how we have drawn this? There are four centers, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here and 4 here. So these centers you want to shift back. So what they have done, P1 was used for drawing this arc, P2 was used for drawing this arc. So you can see what they have done, they have shifted P1 back by a distance of W. So that now the center has gone to this plane. Similarly P2 they have shifted back by a distance of W, so that the new P2 is here. So both P1 and P2 they are going back in this back plane. And once they go here, the way you have drawn one arc here, same way you can draw arc here by using this new P1. Similarly, by using new P2, you can draw this arc here. Then same way, for drawing this arc, you have to draw this arc. So the center which you have used for drawing this arc, this center you have to shift inside by a distance W, which they are not shown, but you shift it back, and then from that center you draw this arc. Similarly, shift this center back and draw this arc, so that you have drawn the full ellipse twice. So one circle is drawn here, one circle is drawn here. One is in this plane and this is in this plane. Now after drawing that, you draw tangents, and after you draw tangents to this circle, just by judgment, the part which is going behind, this is hidden. So this you have to either draw dotted or you don't have to draw. So this becomes a cylinder. So again, I have not taught you or discussed anything new. What we have already done, I am just repeating, just to repeat that the centers are to be taken back, so that this entire procedure for drawing rhombus and these lines, etc., those things you need not have to do. Just get the rhombus, but the centers you can, without drawing these lines, you can get the centers by shifting them back. Okay. Okay, now having done this much, now we know how to draw full circle, quarter circle, semicircle, etc. by making use of the lines which are drawn perpendicular, from the ends of the arcs. This we have seen. Now let's take some actual figures and try to apply them. So we start with this figure. Now this is a figure where there are no arcs, but there is something different here. What is different in this figure? This is a figure, you can see this is a front view, and when you see from the left side, you draw on the right side, you see it like this. In fact, the answer also is here, but let us first see how the figure is. So this figure, if you see from the left side, you will see that the base is 38 and the top surface is only 20. That means here this is less by 18. That means the corner could have been, suppose that you can think of this like a cut. So it was, you can think of a full box, but from this box you have cut it from here to here, so that the upper side is 20 and the lower side is still 38. The last time we saw how to draw a figure when the corner is cut. Now in this case, you can say it is still the corner is cut, but it is cut from here till the entire side is cut. This side, full side is cut till here. But for us it doesn't make a difference. We can still draw it. So now what we do is we learn how to draw this. For that, for the time being, let us ignore this. Suppose this is not there at all. So if this is not there, it is a hole. If it is not there, then this dotted line also is not there. So you just think of this as a shape. Now remember, in this case, only front view and side view is given. You can say that top view is not there. So how can we go further ahead? The third view is not given. Now please note that the views are given for the purpose of understanding. If these two views are sufficient to understand the object, then the third view, even if it is given, it may not be doing anything great. It is just extra, unnecessary. So here these two views are sufficient, therefore the top view is not given. Okay, so this is a figure, there is no hole, and you think of this figure as a full figure like this. So just a box. So if it is a box, then you can draw that box here. So this is the way you draw as a box. If it is a full box, this is the way you will draw if it is not cut. But now it is cut, so what do? You need to find out where is this point, which is at a distance of 20 from back. So from here to here, you take a distance 20 on both sides.